I'll show you how I painted this painting using just this small palette, and then turned it into a handout that I printed out and added the spiral pattern in between the painted circles to create this design. So let's get started. For the painting step today, I have my Roman Schmal mini palette, which I just love. Here are my colors. Then over here, this is just a lid that I put some white dry erase, like a contact paper. I just cut it into a circle and stuck it there. But what you see here, Ganzi Tambi, granulating colors, taken some and then wiped it in there, let it dry, and that made a way for me to take this on the go as well. Another little tip, I've started cutting my paper towels into these little squares, and it's great because whenever you pick one up, you know you've got something that's clean, which is important sometimes if you're trying to fix an area that got a drip on it all of a sudden. So we're going to start by just doing some circles. So I've found that it makes a pretty good circle if I just take this Princeton snap in a filbert, which is rounded. This is number 12. Makes a nice little circle-ish shape. I don't need it to be perfect, and I don't really want it to be perfect. I'm going to start without having these colors touching. One way I like to pull things together is to add just a circle of water in between two shapes, and then I'll let the water pull the pigment over and mix the colors together. This one's getting a little dry on the edge, so I might be too late for that. Let's see if we can wake some of it up. And then the red is certainly awake. And pull that around. All right, so I'm kind of watching things to see. It's dry on this edge, but it might be just wet enough for that water to go in a little bit over time. We'll see. We'll have to keep an eye on that one. All right, so let's switch over to a green. This is the autumn green, and then I've also got one that's just labeled December 2025, which is a mysterious green that they don't even have the pigments labeled. Let me grab a little bit of that. It granulates quite a bit, so it does make things a little interesting. Then, let me see, that's starting to get a little dry there. Let's go ahead and get that one. If I can just move my hand instead of the sketchbook. And this is starting to dry a little bit. I like to get them when they're not super wet, otherwise things just run together and make two circles that look almost the same. I haven't done a blue yet. Beautiful ocean blue, one of my favorite Roman Schmal's colors. Don't want to waste any. Give it just a dab of water and then put some over here. And I feel like there's still some on here. Let's not waste it. All right, then one of my new favorite colors. I wasn't sure about this when I ordered it, but this mineral pink. It's a little brighter than I normally like, but it is really, whoopsie, really stunning. Made that one a little bigger. Let me see if we can get one squeezed in the corner here. And then maybe down here. I do want them to be kind of a consistent size, but I'm not worried about them being perfect or exactly the same size. A little bit left in the brush. There's quite a bit of paint on the edge, so it may run down there quite a bit. And maybe I can connect these two. They're made a little enclosed shape, and well, close to being enclosed. I could bring this one over a tiny bit. And when I go to add my pattern, that'll be a place that's real easy to add a pattern. So I'm purposely leaving some white space for those patterns. Got a really thin line here. I'm going to purposely go past that line in a couple of areas. And if it gets too light, I might just take a touch of that blue. Let's add something right here. And maybe, I think it might be a little late for that shape. Got a little dry. So I do like adding a lot of water shapes. So a lot of circles that are just circles of water. And it allows the pigments to do some fun things. I haven't gotten a light green yet. So let's maybe do one here. And then before I finish it, let's add some of this, pretty sure it's raw sienna. Yep, raw sienna. And then maybe a little raw sienna up here too. With maybe a touch of the ocean blue. And then while it's still on my brush a tad, I will put it down here. Maybe another circle right here that goes past that border. And I just made an enclosed area right here. They don't have to all be enclosed. This indigo greenish. Actually, Roman Schmal has a version of it, and it's in my other palette, so I just kind of made my own to try to simulate it. I almost got there, I think. Nothing like the real thing, though. All right, let's put some of this at the top here. This is Scarlet Lake, pretty sure. Yep, Scarlet Lake. And maybe I'll bring this out to meet it a little bit. And then let's get back to the raw sienna. I have not used the Blue Ridge burnt sienna, and I might just skip it at this point. We don't have to use every color in every painting. I haven't used the mineral violet either, so we might just be leaving that one out. It's good to have a focus of just a few colors. Those two colors looked real pretty together, so I'm gonna let them mix down here. And I haven't done too much with this mysterious December 2025 green. Oh, you know what? I just looked over and saw the granulating colors. Let me see if it's too late to do some of this. They're best when you get them really diluted, so the pigments are suspended. And then I'm just going to drop it in a few areas that are still wet. Hopefully it'll still do something. Looking back to see what I haven't used lately. Let's go back to the mineral pink and maybe put that here. And the ocean blue. before that mineral pink dries, let's just give it a little bit of this. Let's see if we can join these two together. Let some of that aurora color go down. It'll be subtle. Subtle is good. It'll dry a little nicer if there's not one really wet spot. All right, I think we're gonna leave it at that and leave plenty of room for drawing. So I'm gonna add it to my scanner, and then since there's that spiral, put a little stack of cardboard here, and that helps give it a little more even pressure. So I've got it up on my computer, and I'm going to go ahead and scan it at 600 DPI. And I always just have it scanned to my downloads folder. I took the painting that I made in my sketchbook, scanned it, put it on my computer, put it into a PDF that you can download and print. All you have to do is use the link in the description, and I'll email that to you. Once you print it out, you'll have it on a sheet like this that will give you one pattern idea plus a place to go to get the zine that you can download and print out. It doesn't have to be colored. On one piece of paper, fold it, find a pattern that you'd like to use with this design. When you get this PDF, you're also going to find that I've got 2 more formats for you to try out. And I'd really love to know which format you like best. Do you like having just a partial border? Do you like having a complete border or no border? So this one's partial. I'll work on this one. You'll see the difference between what happens when I have a border where I want my pattern to end, or where I get to extend the pattern out and end it wherever I would like. So this kind of gives you a little bit of both. This gives you total freedom, and this is great if you're not sure you want to explore that. All right, so let's get started. I'm going to use a Staedtler pigment liner 0.5, and pigment just means that the ink is got pigment in it instead of just a regular ink, and it is less likely to fade. You can use whatever you have on hand. If it's a ballpoint pen, a gel pen, Sharpie, ultra thin point marker, although these tend to spread just a little bit and they're more likely to bleed through your paper. I love these gel pens, and that would be another option. You'll get a nice line with these. This spiral pattern is in here, right here. So I'm going to use that pattern, but I'll just look at this handout. I like this spiral because it's easy to learn, and all of the patterns that I put in this zine are patterns that you could extend out place like this. It doesn't need to have an enclosed area. So that's one reason I picked out these patterns. You'll want to turn your paper as you go so that you can work in a way that's most comfortable to your hand. And with this spiral pattern, you're just going to start out with a spiral, and then you're going to stop where it hits one of the edges. And then you'll pick it up and you'll continue the spiral around. And then you'll just keep doing that. So what it teaches you is how to start and stop when you get to an edge. And then when you have the border already drawn for you, that just gives you another edge. So you're going to start and stop on that edge. And you'll just keep going. You get to decide when to stop. If you wanted to keep on going and going and going and fill as much as you can with this spiral shape, you could do that. You could decide to stop and start a new spiral. So I could start a new spiral here and let that come out. I could continue this one and continue it around. I could continue it around into this area, but it does kind of look like it's more of its own area there. So this might eventually meet up like that. And I could decide to extend it in just this area here, but start something new here. For this area, I think I'll start right over here so that it's not smack dab in the middle. I like making things a little bit asymmetrical. I think it's more interesting. So as soon as my lines hit an object or this border, they stop. And then I can just decide how far down here I want to continue this. I could continue it all the way down, or I could stop and then start a new spiral. But since I want it a little asymmetrical, I think I'll continue it all the way down. That will give me a little bit of contrast between all these curved lines and the spiral line up here. If you choose this design with the border all the way around, then your design will have this edge where you can stop even when you get to this part. So think about what you enjoy most, and I'd love some feedback. You can give me some feedback in the comments of this video. So now let's see what happens when we don't have a border all the way around. You can start in the middle or on either edge. If you start too far over, I did find that it might get a little big by the time it reaches all the way over here. This starts to get too big, I can always stop it and fill in the rest with a new spiral. Now typically I would turn my thing the other way around because that's the natural arc my wrist makes. But sometimes for videotaping, I don't, because otherwise, as you can see, my hand is covering the design, and I'm sure you'd rather look at some watercolor circles than my hand. All right, so I can stop like that. I could continue that idea of these lines out here or start a new spiral. I really like using just one pattern. You may have noticed there's 6 patterns in the zine. And so you might be thinking, well, why don't I just do a different pattern in each area? And you could do that, but then that's a lot of decision making. And one of the goals of this is to be relaxing and mindful and letting your mind relax a little bit. One way you can help your mind relax is reducing the decision fatigue that we've gotten going through our days, having to decide this and that. And one thing you don't have to decide once you pick your pattern is which pattern to do next. The only thing you have to decide is where do you want the pattern to stop and where do you want the pattern to start. So I'd really like you to express yourself and feel like you've made this uniquely yours. Don't feel like you need to compare yours to mine and get your spirals to start in the same place or even be as close together or as far apart. You can make yours even closer together, or you could make yours a little looser. The cool thing about having this in a PDF format is that you can just print it out again or go on to the next page if you want to try something slightly different. So let's say you want to try a different kind of marker, or maybe a colored marker. Maybe you got your flare pens and you want to give those a try. Do that, print out a second page and see what you like best. Take a picture of what you like best, or take a picture of everything. When you go to the QR code to give me some feedback, there will be an option to upload a picture. And that way I could put a few pictures on the web page where I have the survey. And that'll be kind of fun for people to see what people did with this. So how did you take it and make it your own? If it looks similar to mine, no big deal, but don't feel like it needs to. See what you can do to find a way that you enjoy filling this in. Maybe you go and you get the more pattern ideas and you do a different pattern. That's great. We'd love to see that too. So when you give me the feedback, don't forget, tell me which format you like best. I'm doing something a little different here. I'm letting it go on the outside of that line. I think that works just fine. When you give me the feedback, you'll let me know what format you like best. Hopefully you'll show me a picture of what you did and a few other things that you could tell me that might help me make some decisions about what to do next. I'd love to make some more of these, but I want to make them so that it fits what you like to do. So the more feedback you can give me, the more help I'll have in deciding what to do next. So you can see it kind of continued in this direction, but not all the way around. That's fine. And I could put a couple in here. And then you can see how it's beginning to stick out. If you wanted to put something between them, you could always do that. You want to bridge them a little bit. Maybe something like that. And then maybe start one right here. So I really like how you don't know for sure how it's going to turn out. It teaches you that you can let go of control and not have everything planned out. And that's just one way of being a little bit more mindful. You become the observer to see what happens. So instead of thinking ahead, instead of occupying your brain with visualizing what it's going to look like and getting it all planned out and carrying out that plan, you just start the spiral and then observe. See what happens. One phrase I like is to embrace ambiguity. All right, I'm going to stop there and then start one there that can bump into that. Another phrase I really like is to be a beginner. So even if you've made lots of art, you've done all kinds of drawings, Zentangles, watercolor painting, let yourself be a beginner and try not to rely on your past experiences and let them kind of direct you. Instead, just see what happens. Pretend like you don't know anything. Let's just give it a try and see what happens. I think releasing that a little bit is hard for people, especially if you're a teacher or you feel like you should be the one that knows how to do things. Just releasing that a little bit and trying something new can be a challenge. So that is my challenge to you, is to be a beginner and not try to fall back on what you always do or let your past influence what you're doing too much. We just have a couple more to go. So on this other side, we're back to having the border. So when you're finished, it has the effect of a little bit more structured here and then letting the middle kind of go out a bit. And I kind of like that look. I do think it's kind of nice to have a combination of border and no border. But just because this one doesn't have a border doesn't mean you couldn't draw something in occasionally. Even over here, occasionally put a straight line, let that one stick out. Maybe a straight line, let that one stick out. So keep that in mind too. Okay, there we go. I feel a lot more relaxed, and I hope you do too. Thank you for following along, and be sure to subscribe so I can show you how to do even more.